So today with me in the studio is Miss Muthoni Kirumba. We'll be talking matters personal branding. Please do engage with us till the end of this show. Muthoni, thank you very much for coming to our studios today.
A pleasure to be here.
So today we'll be talking matters personal branding. So first of all, who is Muthoni Kirumba?
Okay, that's a very good question, especially on the topic, because I have to identify myself as a brand. So Muthoni Kirumba is a business coach, a motivational speaker, and an author. And I've come to grow as a personal brand in myself with what I do, because like my book is almost out. And on the part of mentorship, I have a program to train on personal branding, something that I'm very passionate about. And just in terms of who I am, I'm a person who loves smiling. I'm a person who's very deep, because they say writers are very deep. I'm very deep. And I'm a person I'm a people person. So those are the things you can associate me with. I'm also very passionate I'm a fashion enthusiast. I love fashion and I love style and I love inspiration. So this is actually a moment for me to inspire people. I'm very happy to be here. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Muthoni. So today we'll be talking about personal branding.
Yeah.
So what does it take for somebody to be a personal brander?
First of all, a person would have to understand the difference between what is personal branding. So I would say a lot of people know about branding, but not personal branding, which focuses more on the individual. Now, a brand, when you talk about a brand, it's something that it's either a name, a symbol, a tag, something that a company or an organization puts forward so that it can be identified uniquely. Look at Coca-Cola. When I speak about Coca-Cola, who doesn't know about it? And people know about their trademark. When I speak of Pepsi, their rival, people know about it. When I speak about Gucci in the fashion industry, people know about it. So those brands have been able to position themselves and identify themselves uniquely. People associate Gucci with quality. People associate Coca-Cola with fun, events. So that is how someone brands themselves. Then we come to personal brand. How do people identify you uniquely, simply? And who are you? That is the question we're trying to answer when you're talking about a personal brand. And what are the characteristics that people can associate with you every single day of your life? Some people are always smiling, Like we used to have a teacher in high school. Even when she was punishing you, she would smile. So people just knew her for smiling. And those are the characteristics.
Not that smiling was a brand.
Yeah, it's her. It's just her. She doesn't force it. It just comes out. Even when she's punishing people, it just comes out. Something that comes out naturally in you means it's who you are. It's not something that you're forcing. So that is now becoming a brand. And some of the examples I've given you are of brands, and there are also examples of personal brands. For example, when you talk about Oprah Winfrey, people identify her with being very motivational, being very inspiring. In the news industry, when we talk about, even here locally, when we talk about Bahati, I say Bahati and people know her, know Bahati, they know his story. And every brand has its own story, has its own narrative. Those characteristics that people associate you with.
I'd like us to talk about benefits of branding. Why should I, as Sharon, brand myself? What are the benefits?
So this is the benefit of personal branding. First of all, as I said, you are identifying yourself, Sharon, as being very unique. And people are able to connect with your uniqueness. So you gain a lot of recognition. People are able to relate with you in a certain way. And even on a personal level, you know who you are. You know who Sharon is. And knowing that means that you're living out your destiny. That Sharon knows where she's going. And people are able to identify with that. Personal branding also is very beneficial in terms of even careers. When you look at the fashion industry, I'm going to speak about that a lot because it's an industry that I know. And my personal friend, I have Lucia Musau, is a brand in the fashion industry. And you go to a blog. It's also good to put yourself out there when you're a personal brand. You are online so that people can be able to access you and know what you're all about. And she's able to get jobs even from just being a personal brand. She has put herself forward in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
So you look at all the industries, like you look at the agricultural, even if you look at the interior industry, even if you look at the politicians. When I speak of Dr. Julia Ojambo, she is a woman brand, you know. So we're able to identify with her.
Yeah.
So there are so many benefits in becoming a personal brand, including even confidence. You'll find that someone who knows themselves are very confident, and they're able to spread out that confidence among the people around them.
So meaning that when you know your brand, you become comfortable and also very confident maybe in your skin.
Exactly. You're comfortable and you don't listen to what people say. You just appreciate and are content. You appreciate yourself and are content with who you are. And you're able to work on yourself. You're able to introspect and grow yourself. So it's very important to know your personal brand. Yeah.
So who are your ideal customers? Maybe somebody could be looking there, they're like, can I qualify? Who is your ideal customer?
I speak a lot to the youth because I'm also quite young.
Yeah.
So I speak a lot to the youth, people in high school, people who have just finished high school and are in campus, and even those who have just finished, because those are processes of transition. And they're processes where you need to discover yourself and put yourself out there. You find that a lot of people are timid. For no apparent reason, they're just timid, and yet they're very talented and they're very gifted. And one thing I can tell you is, if you're young or when you're young, it is the best time to bring out your gift, because time goes very fast. And there'll come a time where you will not be able to do anything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And then I want us to talk about process of personal branding. What are some of the processes?
Well, the very first process, as I had mentioned earlier, is knowing who you are.
Yeah.
You have to sit down with yourself and actually talk to yourself. And you have to, I'm very keen on writing. Write down, have a vision. I talk about a vision board. You're setting out the strategies of your life. Like you can say, which career do I want to do? Okay? And then you're writing it down and you're saying, who are the people I even want to associate myself with? Because you'll find that brands associate themselves with other bigger brands.
Yeah.
So you have to have that whole process. And that is why I run a program, because it is a whole process. And you need someone to hold your hand. You need a mentor. You need someone to look up to. And the mentor will be able to hold you and, take you through the process, because sometimes it gets very hard.
Yeah.
You're writing the process. You write it down and it's good. But then once you come on ground and you're trying to do it, you will find a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And I want to assure people that the challenges will come. But once you have someone to hold you, someone who is accountable, then you'll be able to overcome them and become a strong brand and become a better brand.
So is it true that when somebody brands him or her own self, they become more appealing to the public?
Well, that is true, but it also has some parts that are not true. When you become a brand, what is important is that you are confident with yourself. But some people will not like it.
Yeah.
Some people will be bashing you and some people will be hating on you because maybe they have not discovered their own path. So yes, you will be there are parts where you'll be appealing to the public, but there's some sense of you will get some resistance, and it's absolutely normal because some people will just not like your brand.
Yeah, true.
And they will not associate with your brand. But there are those who are going to associate with your brand, and those are the people who you need to focus on. Those are the people who you need to move forward on. And the rest, you need to cut them off because they're just going to discourage you and they're going to bring you back. And yet a personal brand is that one is supposed to be a person who is moving forward because you have discovered who you are, you have discovered your destiny, and you've discovered how you want to do things. So you should not let people put you down and bring you back. Yeah.
Does it mean that career people are the ones with the brands? Because I'm trying to look at it, maybe I'm a journalist, somebody somewhere is a doctor, they're defined by their careers. Does it mean that being that somebody has a career, they're defined by their brands?
I'm going to say yes, to some extent. Your career is part of your brand. But when you come down to saying a career, some people have careers, but they don't like them. Yeah. They still go there and they're not happy. So you have, and that is why I say it is important to go through the process. It is always coming back to the drawing board and looking at how am I doing? Am I content? Am I happy? Yes, I'm a journalist. Am I happy? I'm a doctor, but we striked the other day. Am I still happy? If you're still passionate about being a doctor, then you will still be happy. So it is career, but it is more so of you just as a person. Who is Muthoni? Okay?
Yeah.
And am I happy where I am? And if I am not, then what do I do? That is why you have a vision board. And in my program, I talk about a process called like having a strategic plan for your life. You have a strategic plan, and a strategic plan, what happens is you've planned for the future, but you have to keep on coming back and adjusting, something we call pivoting. You have to pivot according to the circumstances that happen in your life. You can find that you've planned maybe to do something and the finances don't come.
Yeah.
So do you become, do you give up? No. You find another way. Maybe you find a sponsor. Maybe you find someone who can invest in your idea, especially for those who are entrepreneurs and those who are coming up with startups. So career is a part of it, but more so it's just you on your personal level. And something I talk about in self-introspection, coming back to yourself at the end of the day and looking at your goals and looking at your achievements and seeing how you can grow more. Yeah.
Well, then you've talked several about your program. Maybe somebody might be wondering which program that is. Tell us more about your program. What are you doing?
My program is tagged Personal Brand Equity. Personal brand equity is all about personal branding. And we talk of the equity part, it's how much do people associate with you? And so it becomes, again, a process I emphasize. You have to start somewhere to realize this is where I am in life and this is where I want to go. And personal branding has become very important because a person realizes where they want to go, there's nothing that can stop them. And you keep on, I talk of reinvention in my program. You have to reinvent yourself. If you reach somewhere and there's some things you have to drop, maybe you started a business and it's not doing well, and it's not making you happy. It's not making you a better person. It's not making you smile every day. Why don't drop it? We find some people, they keep on emphasizing and staying there and you're not doing well. So you need to let go of that and maybe look into something else. And that is a point where you need to be held. It will not be easy. Can you imagine you've invested in a business or you've invested in a startup? You've invested in an idea and it's not working. And now you need to drop it and reinvest. That is not easy.
Can't happen.
So you need someone to hold your hand and to guide you. And that is what my program takes to pass on. When you go to I have a website, mudhonikirumba.com, and that is where I put all the information on everything that I do. Because that's another thing I said, you have to put yourself out there. So I have a website. Some people, they also just have a social media platform, and people are able to reach them there. But because I'm a blogger, I have a website and I blog there.
So people can reach you easily through your website?
Yes, my website has all the information, has my contacts, my phone number, my email, mudhonikirumba.com on my website and on all my platforms, social, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter.
Muthoni Kirumba.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Muthoni. On that note, we're taking a short break, but don't go away. Keep it LTN. We'll be back shortly.